Hello world, my name is Geobanny T.Siarez of Region 7. Our given task, or my given task this evening is to reveal to you the secret of Dapitan. So what is Dapitan according to the plan of God? But before we will proceed, allow me first to extend my appreciation and gratitude to our divine mentor who exhausting his effort for us. No other than the founder of the Kingdom of God, Haring Filemon or Reambonanza. And to my fellow apostle and my co-workers, the divine works of God, the 12 apostles together with the 12 gates, and to all the members of the Kingdom of God in the entire Philippines, and to all my friends out there, most especially in social media and Facebook and other. And now our topic to be discussed is about what is Dapitan according to the plan of God. Now if we will talk Dapitan city, we will start at the time when Jacob was born, because the exact time begins in his life. Jacob was born in negative 73, but before he entered Egypt, he lived 130 years in Israel. So that was on negative 73 to positive 57. Now the question is how we can obtain the positive 57. As you have seen on the board that we have two numbers which have different in sign. So we are going to use the basic fundamental rules of algebra, which is the rule number 2. It stated that to add two numbers having unlike sign, because number without sign is always positive, and prefix the sign of the greater numbers. Find the difference. The difference between 130 and 73 is 57, and prefix the sign of the greater number, since 130, which is positive, is greater than negative 73. So we're going to use the positive sign, positive 57. So in this particular year, one of his sons, who is Joseph, became a governor in Egypt. Now, 17 years after Jacob arrived in Egypt, he died. Now the family of Jacob lived in Egypt within 430 years. So it was at the time of Moses. So in short, they got out from Egypt in the year 487. So this year, 487, because we are going to add the two addends. So the equation is 487. So in this year, 487, they got out from the land of Egypt. From this year, we will count 480 years, in which King Solomon constructed the temple. So, in short, King Solomon constructed the temple in 967 positive. So, in this year, 967 positive. This was the 4th year of King Solomon to reign his kingdom. So, King Solomon became a king in 963 years. Positive 963. 37 years left to finish the 1,000 years. Since Solomon reigned the kingdom within 40 years, so he had 3 years, which was already in negative 1,000 years. Now, if we will subtract negative 3 from negative 1,000, the answer is negative 997. Why? Because to subtract numbers mentally change the sign of the subtrahend, since 3 is the subtrahend while the negative 1,000 is the minuend. So we're going to change the sign of the minuend mentally. So from negative becomes positive. So now we can subtract. So to subtract two numbers having unlike sign, find their difference. So the difference is 997, and the sign is negative because, as you have seen, 1,000 is negative. So in this particular year, in negative 997, we will subtract it to 2,520 years, which is the appointed time of God. Now the answer is 1,523 or 1523 in short. So this was the time when God bestowed the kingdom to the nation, which became a Christian nation. In this regard, God sent a priest on March 16, 1521, in order to Christianize the Filipino people, for the kingdom of God should be given to a nation in which Christianity abided. Now we cannot profoundly deny that the Philippines is the abode of the Christian people who are struggling for salvation, whether in group or individual. We learn very well that the Philippines became Christian on April 14, 1521. 2 years before God gave the kingdom in the year 1523. Now, it is very clear to mention the kingdom of God because the year 1523 is the repetition of history of the true and real kingdom of God at the time of King Solomon during his last hour in negative 997. The biblical history prevails that the creation of Adam was in the island surrounded by two branches of twin rivers. It is precisely called Mesopotamia. From the Greek language, Mesopo, which means an island surrounded by two branches of twin rivers, which is called Tigris and Euphrates River. In a vivid narration, after the creation of Adam, God rested in the seventh day. Since one day of God is equal to 1,000 years of man, so Adam should be in the Garden of Eden and live there at the same time as God rested. But before the year ended, Adam committed sin. So God completely erased Mesopotamia at the 20th generation, at the time of Abraham. So the plan of God was carried by Abraham to Canaan. Many years passed by when Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem. His human flesh was chosen so that Christ, the true God, could humanly speak to the people for the preparation of his third week in this world. Many Jews did not believe him. So he took away the kingdom of God and given to a nation which became Christian in 1523. 40 years should be counted off when Adam, who could give life to the people, should appear in the person of Dato Pagbuaya in the year 1563. Since Adam lived in Mesopotamia, which was surrounded by two branches of river, so with the new Mesopotamia, which is also surrounded by two branches of twin river called Pulu and Liburan River. According to the plan of God, the place should be discovered 40 years after the repetition of history. The history repeated in the year 1523. 40 years after when Dato Pagbuaya reached in Dapitan in the year 1563. Counting from it the remaining 390 years. The answer is 1953. When Dato Pagbuaya spiritually returned in Dapitan. 10 years that followed, the town of Dapitan became a city under the penmanship of President Diosdado Macapagal on June 22, 1963. Another 10 years that followed, when Dapitan became a shrine city under the signature of President Marcos. It was signed on January 24, 1973 under PD or Presidential Decree number 105. It was on January 24, 1974. Now in this juncture, Dapitan City, which is now Dapitan Shrine City, is the new Mesopotamia. where the second Adam, who personified Dato Pagbuaya in the year 1563, will come back to Dapitan. So, we have the answer to the question, what is Dapitan according to the plan of God? So, the answer is, Dapitan City is the new Mesopotamia. And that's all. And once again, good evening. Good evening.